It sounds like Pikachu.
It does sound a little bit like Pikachu.
Yeah. Well, let's go to your top headlines now. So starting off, 4 Mapton City Council members signed a petition to recall Mayor Rachel Ruelas. We have the update.
3 people detained after a police situation in Richland. What we know so far.
Also still ahead, a recap on the presidential debate that took place last night.
And yesterday it was a little bit cooler than average for this time of the year. Today will be more seasonal. I'll tell you just how warm we'll be for this Friday. That'll be coming up right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. It is Friday, June 28th.
We'll get to your first alert forecast in just a moment, but first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth is keeping tabs on a wildfire situation across our region.
Josh, you've been keeping a close eye on the Slide Ranch fire near White Swan. What's the status this morning?
Yeah, well, the status, I just kind of gave away the goods here because it's right here on the screen. It is now just a hair above 3,100 acres, so it did grow a little bit compared to yesterday, and the containment unfortunately stayed the same. It's still at 75%. And unfortunately, we have some very tough fire weather on the way for Kittitas and Yakima counties. Now, it's going to be a while before it gets here, but I'll tell you what that entails as we head into the holiday week for next week. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. And we start in developing news. 3 people are detained after a police situation in Richland.
This happened last night just after 5. Law enforcement agencies responded to the area around the Orchard Hills apartments off of Gage Boulevard. People who live in that area were told to shelter in place, and a police canine was brought to the scene.
That's when 2 people were detained, and authorities on scene confirmed they were looking for a 3rd person. That 3rd person was arrested just after 7 p.m. after officers chased the man down near New Haven Loop. What led to the situation has not officially been released, but we'll bring you more information when it's made available.
And now we'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth to see how our morning forecast is looking.
Yeah, it's looking pretty nice out there. I mean, we already have a lot of sunshine. You're taking a live look at the Columbia River and plenty of sunshine already in the Tri-Cities, and the temperatures aren't feeling all that bad. It's a little chilly out there. Just kind of depends on how warm or cold-blooded you are. 40s and 50s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We're seeing 50s for the lower Columbia Basin, also 50s for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. Going with the light jacket for this morning, but come time for 10, 11 o'clock this morning, it's going to be t-shirt weather, and we'll have a lot more of that throughout the rest of today, as today will be warmer compared to yesterday. Will be seasonal as opposed to below average, so most of us will end up in the 80s with plenty of sunshine, but we do trend hotter as we head into next week, and again, that could spell big time trouble when it comes to fire weather impacts, so I'll tell you which regions could be impacted by that. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. And now to continuing coverage. The majority of the Mapton City Council is leading a charge to recall Mayor Rachel Ruelas over allegations of gross incompetence. A week after police say $22,000 was stolen from the city in a fake robbery scheme.
Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell sat down with Yakima County Auditor Charles Ross to talk about how that recall process works moving forward.
4 out of 5 Mapton City Council members signed a petition to recall Mayor Rachel Ruelas
due to incompetency and violation of her oath of office.
The only holdout, Councilmember Diana Castaneda, who is also the mayor's mother. The petition filed Wednesday with the Yakima County Auditor's Office following a heated city council meeting the night before.
You don't have the right to bring in a council meeting, Diana. That's a lawsuit.
Where the council asked the mayor to step down.
And I'm not going to resign.
Yakima County Auditor Charles Ross says the petition was missing an oath to be signed by the petitioners, but the auditor's been told that it's incoming.
I also reached out to the mayor to let that person know that we're in the receipt of a complaint which would start the recall process. However, I did tell her it was incomplete, but there's a strong likelihood it will be filed to be completed.
In the petition, council members claim Ruelas violated state laws on budgeting by refusing to provide notice of hearing to the public on a final budget and refusing to provide any budget to the council.
We're operating illegally. We have no budget.
The petition claims Ruelas violated the Open Public Meetings Act by providing inaccurate council meeting minutes and violated the code of ethics for municipal officers by promoting her own business on the city website. According to the petition, quote, the mayor also lacks due diligence in hiring of city personnel, using the example of Deputy City Clerk Juliana Morales, who was arrested Friday after police said she stole $22,000 from the city in a fake robbery scheme. The prosecutor's office declined to file charges against her, pending further investigation. However, a new arrest has been made in the case: Benjamin Moreno, who was the brother of Morales' boyfriend. Police say the suspect vehicle was registered to Moreno's mother, and Moreno was spotted on surveillance getting gas in that car at a nearby gas station about 10 minutes before the robbery. According to court documents, Moreno also told police he was paid $500 to take the money, but that he never looked in the bag. When I approached Ruelas after the council meeting Tuesday for answers about how the city's dealing with the missing checks and cash and whether Morales would be placed on administrative leave, she refused to comment. But when it comes to the recall petition,
a lot of people think recall means that, hey, if we go tell the auditor this person did all these things wrong, and if the prosecutor agrees, and they get thrown out of office. That really is not what recall is. Recalling a duly elected office holder is a very, very hard thing to do.
The auditor says once a petition is accepted by the auditor's office, it goes to the prosecutor to create a ballot synopsis. Then to Superior Court, where petitioners and Ruelas will both have a chance to convince the judge whether the charges are sufficient to support a recall.
There's basically two things that you have to be able to prove: that whoever the elected official is acted with either misfeasance or malfeasance in the capacity of their elected job. That's where a lot of recalls go, and they stop there.
But if the judge says yes, petitioners need signatures equal to 35% of the number of people who voted for the mayor's race in the previous election, which was 167 in this case. So to get a recall vote on the ballot, they'd need roughly 60 signatures.
We have 10 days to review all the signatures to make sure they're legitimate voters of the district. And then once that is achieved, then we look at putting it on an election ballot.
If the recall petition fails, residents of Mabton will still have an opportunity to make their voices heard in the 2025 election, where Ruelas will be up for re-election. In Mabton, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
The Grant County Health District says it's seeing an increase in chickenpox and whooping cough cases over the last several months.
The GCHD says the chickenpox virus has been high in numbers across the county. Currently, the health district is monitoring an outbreak at a child care center in Warden. Officials say people should consider getting the chickenpox vaccine if they have not had the virus and are eligible. GCHD says it has 3 cases of whooping cough in the Moses Lake area, and the concern is exposure because it is a contagious infection, and that illness is treated with antibiotics.
4th of July is now less than a week away, and state law allows fireworks to be sold starting this morning.
However, there are specific limits on when you can use the fireworks, so be sure to check local rules. And also, this is the time to prepare your pets.
All the loud noises tend to be stressful for our furry friends, which makes them more prone to run away. The Pitbull Pen in Richland is holding a free microchip event this weekend where you can get your pet microchipped or update your information so that when a vet or animal control officer reads the microchip, they'll know who to call. And you
Creating
can also
a safe space for them. A lot of them like to go in like a dark closet. You can set up their bed in there.
That's Haley Collin with the Pitbull Pen. She also suggests picking up some calming treats that can help manage stress. Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, the first presidential debate took place in Atlanta last night, and it's got everyone talking.
When we come back, we have a recap on what went down between President Biden and former President Trump. Keep it right here.
During our Patriot sale, you'll get amazing values.
Like a Sealy Queen mattress for $3.99.
Come to Mattress Depot USA.
Before our Patriot sale ends.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Something is weird. Look around. All possible Triple Play customers are perfectly represented right now.
Wait, really?
There's the family, the group of adult friends, kids on their school trip,
and the first date couple, and the grandparents with their grandkids.
It's just too perfect. I knew it. There shooting a commercial.
I thought we were better than that.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
We just thought...
If it's hidden, you might get bitten.
If you would like to improve your sleep for less, then right now is the perfect time to visit Walker's Furniture for their 4th of July savings event, where you can get no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years this week at Walker's.
Audiologist Jennifer Wright is now caring for patients of all ages at Prosser Ear, Nose, and Throat Center. Her services include audiological evaluations, hearing aid fittings, pediatric testing, cochlear implants, and more. The effects of hearing loss can often be minimized with the correct diagnoses and proper treatment. To schedule an appointment with audiologist Jennifer Wright, call Prosser Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 509-786-5599 today. This is how we care.
Pasco's Grand Ole 4th of July celebration begins Saturday morning, June 29th at 8 a.m. with the family bike ride. July 4th, Thursday fun begins at Memorial Park with the Kiwanis Breakfast at 7 and the Grand Ole 4th of July Parade at 10. The Camp Patriot Show and Shine at noon with a cardboard regatta at 1, and the free Grand Ole 4th of July fireworks show is at Pasco Sporting Complex at 10 that evening. More activities info at PascoGO4.com. That's PascoGO4.com.
Need a new furry pal? It's Operation Best Friend from Apple Valley News Now. Each Wednesday, we'll feature lovable pets from area shelters wanting forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Windermere Group 1 and Apple Valley News Now.
At Mattress Depot USA, we realize your top priority is to get a quality mattress at a great price.
And it never hurts to do business with someone local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
This newscast sponsored by Nissan.
Welcome back. In political news this morning, there's new reaction to the presidential debate. Perry Russom reports President Biden kicked off the debate with a raspy voice and at times struggled to finish his thought.
While the former president spewed a string of falsehoods on everything from abortion to January 6th. Take a look.
This morning, the Biden campaign squashing concerns over the president's performance.
I'd say a slow start, but a good and strong finish. And I think that what's most important is we saw an extraordinary contrast between the former president and the current president.
Biden apparently losing his train of thought minutes into the debate.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Republicans pouncing.
The Democrats are going to have plenty of thinking to do after tonight.
The Biden campaign responding to the criticism, saying he was fighting a cold, calling it an off night, adding, President Biden is the only person who has ever beaten Donald Trump. He will do it again.
I think we did well.
In the first of two scheduled debates, Biden and former President Trump sparring over issues, including abortion rights.
No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. If I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
Every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that.
The war in Ukraine.
That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started, ever, with me.
And Trump's legal issues.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
The contest getting sidetracked at times, the men attacking each other's golf game.
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6.
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
This morning, Democratic Party insiders privately expressing doubts about the future of Biden's campaign.
I think you're going to hear discussions that I don't know will lead to anything, but there are going to be discussion about whether he should continue.
Some Democrats are calling for Biden to step down, Andrew Yang being one of them. He says Biden has to be replaced.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, it's been more than 2 years since the Uvalde school massacre. We have a look at the first criminal charges law enforcement could be facing.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Josh Culberth has your first alert full forecast. We'll be right back.
For over 50 years, Jayco has been providing the keys to freedom.
Broadmoor RV is hosting the Jayco Summer Sales Escape, June 28th, 29th, and 30th. Save $13,000 on a new J-Flight. Sale price just $29,990. Save over $26,000 on a 26-foot Eagle HT, just $49,990. Save almost $60,000 on a new Red Hawk, yours for $109,990. Enjoy the RV lifestyle at Broadmoor RV Superstore in Pasco.
It's 1,000 miles from here, but our open southern border is costing us billions and bringing deadly drugs into our communities. The rich are doing just fine, but working families are struggling. I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message because even though the political establishment told me to wait my turn, I'm running for Congress now to secure the border and lower the cost of living because Washington families can't afford to wait any longer.
Want to test drive U.S. Cellular's nationwide 5G coverage?
Yeah.
Download our app. Want to do it even faster?
Here we go.
U.S. Cellular works great out here. Wow, still have 5G here too. Hey, I wonder if U.S. Cellular lets me stream in my rec room. Yep, it's working.
Try out our nationwide 5G coverage free for 30 days. Download the U.S. Cellular Try Us app today.
The story of a kinesiotherapist who rehabbed his golf game.
I love golf. I have always played golf.
Until he started having some mulligan-level foot pain.
Well, the golf game starts down at the feet, and if you don't have good support, you probably won't have a good golf swing.
So he got fitted for Good Feet arch supports.
It made a world of difference.
Any advice for your fellow linksmen?
2 words, the Good Feet store. How many words is that?
Swing by for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Apple Valley News Now, recently honored by the Society of Professional Journalists with first place awards for general excellence, breaking news, health reporting, and video series. We all like awards, but our mission is to serve you with news that gets results. We're Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
When you cry, it's for a good reason.
Yeah, or commercials. Sometimes commercials make me cry.
All right, I wasn't going to bring that up, but okay.
Next live, Sofia Vergara. Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live, beautiful look at Yakima. There's already plenty of sunshine out there, and there's going to be more of that throughout the rest of today. Temperatures right now in the Yakima and Kittitas valleys are in the 50s. We're also seeing 50s for the lower Columbia Basin, and it is the same thing for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. So a little bit later today, seasonal and sunny. That's going to be the big takeaway. We'll be in the 80s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We'll be in the low to mid 80s for the lower Columbia Basin, and a mixture of 70s and 80s for the foothills of the Blues. And then for tonight, we will have clouds building ahead of a little shower and thunderstorm chance for tomorrow, which I'll touch on more here in just a second. But yeah, skies will be partly to mostly cloudy. Overnight lows will be warmer compared to what we're dealing with for this morning, with 50s for the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. We could be pretty close to 60 degrees in the lower Columbia Basin, and we'll be in the mid 50s to low 60s for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. So for tomorrow into the afternoon and evening, we do have a little chance for some showers and thunderstorms, especially in and around some of those ridgelines, the Cascade Ridgeline, also the ridgeline of the Blue Mountains. And then we'll have similar thunderstorm chances into Sunday and Monday. It looks like we turn a little bit drier into Tuesday and Wednesday. I think one of the more interesting trends for next week is how our temperatures do start to trend up a little bit into Wednesday, into Thursday, and this could spell big time trouble when it comes to fire weather impacts. We're actually going with 2 separate first alert high impact fire days for next week. One for Wednesday, that's going to be for the Blue Mountains, and then one for Thursday, which is going to be for the Blue Mountains and for Kittitas and Yakima counties. So for the setup on Wednesday, again, it's just for the Blues. It's going to be warm. Going to be dry fuels. The fire fuel energy is going to be up into the 75th percentile for all of fire season. But the setup for the 4th of July has me a lot more concerned, as will be even hotter and the fuels will be much drier, and the area is going to be more expansive as for the upper and lower Yakima. So in essence, for Kittitas and Yakima counties, the fuels will be up into the 81st percentile in terms of fire fuel energy. And for the Blue Mountains, up into the 83rd percentile. So this is all a fancy way of saying it is going to be a powder keg of an environment. At least it looks that way for the 4th of July. We know people like to shoot off fireworks, but I would highly recommend leaving that work to the professionals this go around. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Cascades. We'll have small thunderstorm chances for Saturday and Sunday, turning much drier by Tuesday and Wednesday. For the Kittitas Valley, we do have, again, a first alert high impact fire day for the 4th, given those hot and dry conditions. And you can just say that again for the Yakima Valley, given the dry fuels we were just talking about. Then for the lower Columbia Basin, we'll hold steady near 90 degrees from Saturday through Tuesday, but a little bit hotter after that. Then for the foothills of the Blues, we'll also see small thunderstorm chances for Sunday and Monday, and then making a run for 90 degrees for Independence Day. Then for the Blue Mountains, a first alert high impact fire day for Wednesday and Thursday, again due to the uptick in fire fuel energy.
Thank you, Josh. In a follow-up now, it's been more than 2 years since the Uvalde school massacre. And this morning, the families of the children lost say it's a step forward for justice.
Andrea Fujiji reports it's what some are calling new accountability on the police response.
This morning, the first criminal charges against law enforcement for what is widely viewed as a botched police response to the massacre at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, more than 2 years ago, which left 19 children and 2 teachers dead.
I think it's a really strong message, not just to the community of Uvalde, but any law enforcement officer, you know, that you cannot hide behind immunity, that there's something called consequences.
A grand jury now indicting former school district police chief Pete Arredondo. Another former officer also reportedly indicted. Victims' families reacting with mixed emotions.
But there are still 374 other officers that did nothing while our children died, and they're getting to walk scot-free as of right now.
Investigators found children inside Robb Elementary waited more than 1 hour for help from police, despite frantic 911 calls during the shooter's rampage. Surveillance video shows dozens of heavily armed and shielded officers crowding the halls outside the classroom, finally taking down the shooter 77 minutes after the carnage began. An official tells ABC News former Chief Arredondo, one of the first officers to arrive on the scene, now faces 10 charges of child endangerment. He surrendered last night and was released on $10,000 bond. Arredondo has said he never considered himself the scene incident commander and had said officers prioritized evacuating the children over taking down the attacker. But the Justice Department finding law enforcement did not follow generally accepted practices in an active shooter situation.
Most of the families tell me that they have not gotten any word or any feeling that more people could be indicted. But again, they are meeting with the district attorney to figure out what the next few steps will be over the next few months here.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
No word yet on the next court date in this case, but if convicted, the charges against Arredondo could carry a minimum prison sentence of 5 years.
When we return on Good Morning Northwest, the Justice Department is charging almost 200 people in a massive healthcare fraud case.
We've got the details on the false claims that topped over $2 billion. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
It's a celebration of cab this summer in Walla Walla. Take part in special tastings of rare library wines, enjoy intimate winemaker dinners, and gain access to premium cabs during the wine panel presentation and tasting. Tickets are on sale now at wallawallawine.com.
Let's get scratching.
Hard work, perseverance, courage. These are the attributes of a champion. A lifetime of success starts here at the Children's Developmental Center. Every child needs a champion. Support our mission of empowering families and improving children's lives. Join us for our fundraiser, Summer Cuisine at Terra Blanca, presented by Country Financial. Will you be one of our champions?
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
It's a celebration of cab this summer in Walla Walla. Take part in special tastings of rare library wines, enjoy intimate winemaker dinners, and gain access to premium cabs during the wine panel presentation and tasting. Tickets are on sale now at wallawallawine.com.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your health headlines, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says Americans should plan to get updated COVID-19 and flu shots this fall.
The CDC announced yesterday that anyone 6 months or older should get one of the new COVID-19 vaccines when they become available. Officials say updated vaccines give targeted protection from a virus, also immunity from a previous shot, or the infection decreases over time.
This new recommendation comes as the U.S. faces a rise in cases of COVID-19 across most states. The CDC says people who got the last COVID-19 vaccine had increased protection against hospital visits compared with people who had no shot. The Affordable Care Act requires insurers, including Medicare and Medicaid, to pay for vaccines recommended by the advisory committee at no cost to the patient.
And in a health alert, the Justice Department is charging almost 200 people in a massive healthcare fraud sweep.
76 of the defendants are doctors, nurses, and other licensed medical professionals. False claims in the schemes topped $2.7 billion. Investigators seized more than $231 million in cash, luxury cars, gold, and other assets.
It does not matter if you are a trafficker in a drug cartel or a corporate executive or medical professional employed by a healthcare company. If you profit from the unlawful distribution of controlled substances, you will be held accountable.
In one particular scheme, workers allegedly gave terminally ill elderly people wound grafts they didn't need. Then they filed fraudulent Medicare claims and collected the money. In another case, medication distributors allegedly sold adulterated and misbranded drugs as HIV treatments. Other defendants are accused of establishing phony sober living homes for Native Americans. Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, a wildfire in Central Oregon that was first spotted Tuesday is nearing 4,000 acres. We have the latest.
And a Washington couple scammed out of $50,000 from a surrogacy financial group. Their story when we come back.
It's the big 4th of July sale this week at Walker's.
With big discounts on all your favorite name brand furniture items. Or pay for it over time with no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years.
This week at Walker's.
Save now with Cascade Farm and Outdoors' latest mailer. Watch for it in your mailbox or pick up a copy in store. Pick up a pair of Georgia Boot Romeos, now $15 off. Spruce up the yard. All bagged soil and fertilizers are 25% off. Plus save $5 on Purina Pro Plan 30-pound and up dog food. Celebrate America and homegrown value with our latest mailer at Cascade Farm and Outdoor. Northwest. Homegrown. Honest values.
Criminal illegals flooding our southern border and fentanyl flooding our streets. But Dan Newhouse has a plan to fight back. Stop illegal immigration, secure the border, and seize illegal fentanyl.
We need to keep pushing hard, working hard to stop the illegal flow of people and the illegal flow of drugs.
Call Congressman Newhouse and tell him to keep fighting to stop the illegal flow of people and drugs at the southern border.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $1,950 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
True or false? I'm co-hosting a new trivia game with Gina Rodriguez.
True. True or false, it's coming to ABC.
True. You don't have to be a know-it-all to win it all.
That was my line.
Gina!
Okay, guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines for just $90.
Sorry, just double checking. Is it really that good of a deal?
Yeah. It's a huge deal. You also get 4 free phones of your choice.
4 free phones! Wow, I just triple checked and that's awesome.
So go get that deal. Or at least help me clip. Do you check the expiration dates?
Oh, I can do that.
Great.
Get 4 free phones of your choice with no trade-in needed, plus 4 lines for $90.
It's the best time to visit More Furniture. Join us for our July 4th truckload event. You'll find truckloads of our top-tier product, all at factory direct prices, all in stock and available for immediate delivery. Get this beautifully shaped arch panel bed with traditional details like scrolled woodwork and pewter accented hardware, available in 3 colors for only $9.95. Or get the 4-piece bedroom including dresser, mirror, and nightstand for only $19.95. Only while supplies last. Hurry into your local showroom for the best selection.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at AppleValleyNewsNow.com and our mobile apps.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, a wildfire in Central Oregon that was first spotted Tuesday is nearing 4,000 acres. We have the details.
The former Mesa City employee accused of stealing money appears in a Franklin County courtroom. Monique Ledesma was in the courtroom and has the update.
And the FBI investigating after a Washington couple was scammed out of $50,000 from a surrogacy financial group. Their story just ahead.
And this morning, it is already a sunny start. A little bit later today, it's going to be warmer compared to yesterday. I'll tell you just how much warmer coming up right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. It is Friday, June 28th, starting off the weekend really nice.
It's been really nice lately outside, and I hope it continues.
Me too.
We'll check in now on your forecast with our Chief Meteorologist, Josh Colbreth.
Josh, a gorgeous start to the day. What can we expect for the rest of it?
Yeah, we can expect more sunshine a little bit later today. It's going to be seasonal out there, so warmer compared to yesterday. Right now, you're already taking a live look at the Columbia River. Lots of sunshine in the Tri-Cities already. Now, the temperatures are a little on the chillier side or comfortable. It just kind of depends on how warm or cold-blooded you are. But we are in the 50s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. It's the same thing for the lower Columbia Basin, and it's the same thing for the foothills, as we're seeing temperatures also in the 50s. Now, a little bit later today, we'll end up in the 80s, already sunny and 75 by lunchtime, and then some more seasonal weather after that. So for today, within the viewing area, most of us will end up in the 80s, plenty of sunshine, but we do trend warmer, slightly warmer into this weekend, and maybe even a little bit warmer for next week, which could spell big trouble when it comes to fire weather impacts. So we'll touch on that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. We go now to developing news from Central Oregon, where a wildfire first spotted on Tuesday afternoon is nearing 4,000 acres.
This is in Deschutes County, which is about 30 miles south of Bend. Central Oregon Fire Management Service says around 1,200 acres burned between Wednesday night and Thursday morning, and more than 1,000 people have gotten evacuation notices.
And I was afraid it was just keep on going, because nobody controls a fire. I got stuff for night and my pills and stuff like that. Brought my toothbrush and made sure I had that.
Make sure if you're not in an evacuation zone that you are prepared to evacuate if needed. This is a good reminder to all of us in Central and Eastern Oregon that this is a reality we live with.
Hundreds of firefighters are working to get ahead of the flames, and they are getting help from the state. FEMA has approved federal funds to help cover the costs.
The former Mesa clerk treasurer accused of stealing city funds appeared in a Franklin County courtroom this Thursday.
Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma was there in the courtroom and has the information.
Charlene Harvison appeared in Franklin County Court on Thursday accused of stealing and misusing money while she worked at the city of Mesa. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says detectives spent 6 months on this investigation. Halverson is charged with theft, injury to public record, misappropriation, and official misconduct. Sergeant Steve Warren says it all came to light after Halverson left the city.
After she departed, and they had a change of employment, the new employee there discovered missing money. At the time, we didn't know the extent of that missing funds, but the detectives assigned were able to uncover exactly where those funds were missing from and how they disappeared from the departments.
At the hearing today, the judge agreed that Halverson could be released on bail. We will continue to bring you the latest information on this case as we get it. For now, reporting in Pasco, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
In continuing coverage on Brian Kohberger, the suspect in the University of Idaho murders from November 2022, he was back in court yesterday, and it's looking like he won't go on trial until next June.
Kohberger's attorneys are still trying to get the case moved out of Leda County, which is where the 4 college students were found dead in an off-campus home. Kohberger, who was a criminal justice student at WSU at the time, is charged with 4 counts of murder.
Police arrested Kohberger 6 weeks after the killings. He waived his constitutional right to a speedy trial, and it's been 18 months of legal wrangling, this over when and where to hold the trial, the evidence that will be presented, and even how the media will be allowed to cover what happens inside the courtroom. The trial was tentatively set for June 2025, and it's expected to take about 3 months.
A Washington couple working with a surrogacy financial group says it was scammed out of $50,000.
Eric Wilkinson reports the surrogacy didn't get paid as promised, and now the owner of the company is gone with what authorities say could be up to $10 million.
This is the sound of Ariel Mitten's heart beating outside her body, the ultrasound of her 14-week-old baby girl being carried by a surrogate mother. After her 3rd child, Ariel found out she was infertile. She and her husband found a surrogate and took out a $50,000 loan for her expenses. That's where Dominique Seid comes in. Ariel says Seid's business, Surrogacy Escrow Account Management, or SEAM, promised to hold that money and take care of all financial matters. Then on June 14th, Ariel got this cryptic email stating all operations have been placed on hold. Ariel says her surrogate hadn't been receiving payments she was due.
There's something bad going on here.
This lawsuit filed against Dominique Seid claims she stole escrow funds from at least 600 families to the tune of $10 million, leaving them with no way to pay for their surrogacies.
Thank you for calling Surrogacy Escrow Account Management.
We tried contacting Dominique Seid, but only got this outgoing message.
My company and I have been noticed that we are subject to an active investigation by federal authorities. Under advice of counsel, I am not permitted to respond to any inquiries regarding the investigation.
I would ask her how she can sleep at night, knowing that she's done this to so many people.
Now, the FBI is investigating this case, and they say there may be more victims out there. If you think you've been taken advantage of, call your local FBI office.
And if you are traveling Friday, you are not alone. The TSA expects to screen more than 3 million passengers. If that happens, it would make it the busiest travel day ever, surpassing the previous record set Sunday with 2.99 million individuals screened. The Independence Day holiday started Thursday and lasts through Monday, July 8th. TSA expects to screen 32 million people during that period, and that's a 5.4% increase over the 2023 Independence Day holiday travel week. Meanwhile, AAA is expecting heavy traffic as well.
It projects nearly 71 million people will travel 50 miles or more between Saturday, June 29th and Sunday, July 7th.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, the 2nd annual Tri-City STEM Career Academy took place, which helps high school students explore STEM career options.
Our Riley Fitzgerald has what the students worked on each day and will join us to give us the inside scoop. We'll be right back.
Hello there. Watch Live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
This season, we've got 2 celebrity contestants in the hot seat working to win big money for charity. The most dramatic hour of 3 people sitting on stools in the history of American television.
Jimmy Kimmel hosts Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, July 10th on ABC.
There's working you. And then there's chill you. Chill you is more carefree and curious, more present, more relaxed, more fun. Chill you is the best you. There you are. Bring back your chill you with an escape to Coeur d'Alene, the city by the lake. Win a dream giveaway at cda4.fun.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
If you would like to improve your sleep for less, then right now is the perfect time to visit Walker's Furniture for their 4th of July savings event, where you can get no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years this week at Walker's. Celebrate Independence Day the Tri-Cities way. The River of Fire Festival is back Thursday, July 4th. It's a blast with something for everyone. Free admission and free parking. Kids Zone, Food Truck Alley, plus live music on 2 stages. Park entrance closes at 9 p.m. and the legendary River of Fire fireworks show starts at 10. The River of Fire, presented by Giza Credit Union and these sponsors. The annual River of Fire 2024, Thursday, July 4th.
Fly over the Yakima River from Benton City to the Columbia.
Well, I think it's great having this in our backyard. It's nice having things that are kind of a bit closer to home and easier to get to.
It's the Tapteel Greenway on Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Hey, I'm Andy Cohen, and this is my E.T. retrospective.
We look back with the Bravo King, his career regrets, and most spirited interview.
They were smashed. Next, E.T.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In local education news, high school students are exploring STEM career options this week. That with the Tri-Cities STEM Career Academy.
Riley Fitzgerald joins us live in studio now. So Riley, this is the 2nd annual event and the 2nd time that you're covering it. What has changed?
Well, good morning, you two. Yes, this is the 2nd annual event, and this year it's expanded from 3 to 5 days. There are a few more students involved this year as well, around 20 in total, and I'm told there was space for around 25 students this year with plans to keep growing the program. Earlier this week, students built hydro turbines at the UA Local 598, then visited the WSU Prosser Extension to build and fly drones. Thursday morning, students built hydrogen cars, then students spent the afternoon building and racing solar cars. The students are learning about careers in agriculture, science, and energy.
I hope they're inquisitive, and I hope they think, what are the things I can do in the future based on my interests and the things that I enjoy around STEM and science and technology.
In some of the classes that I'll be going into, like I'm taking chemistry next year, so this is chemistry, or some classes that I've had in the past are very similar to this, but this is something a little bit different than what I've done before, a little faster.
The STEM Academy is partnering up with the UA Local 598 along with a lot of other sponsors. Students got to tour the facility and hear from a number of apprentices to hear about what they do. Benton PUD and the Washington Grain Commission are the anchor sponsors of the event, and they're always looking for more partners to expand this program. Jill and Jessica, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Riley. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, it's the weekend and it's summer, so if you're planning on spending time outdoors, you'll want to know how the weather is doing.
Chief Meteorologist Josh Culberth will let you know. That's next in your First Alert Full Forecast.
It's a celebration of cab this summer in Walla Walla. Take part in special tastings of rare library wines, enjoy intimate winemaker dinners, and gain access to premium cabs during the wine panel presentation and tasting. Tickets are on sale now at wallawallawine.com.
We've upped the stakes in our summer-long Winning Gone Wild drawings at Legends Casino Hotel with over $80,000 in cash and a 2024 Jeep Gladiator up for grabs. Break free from your backyard weeds and head to Legends Casino Hotel every Thursday in July. Use your Legends Rewards card to pile up entries, and you could be exploring the wilderness in a new Jeep Gladiator on July 25th. When your winning nature calls, go to Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish.
Whether you're looking for your next houseplant, getting those spring flowers in the ground, or planting your dream garden landscape, Queensgate Gardens is the place to go. Queensgate Gardens in Richland. Let's grow together.
It's the big 4th of July sale this week at Walker's.
With big discounts on all your favorite name brand furniture items, or pay for it over time with no money down and no interest financing for up to 5 years.
This week at Walker's.
Let Quantum Legal protect you and be your champion on the legal battleground. Whether it's a fight for justice in the face of criminal accusations, personal injury claims, or workplace accidents, Quantum Legal is your unwavering ally. An aggressive offense is your greatest defense. Quantum Legal is the sword and shield you've been seeking. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
People don't really realize how much of an impact the feet have on the rest of the body. A lot of times people with knee pain, there's really nothing going on with their knee. The issue is actually stemming from the foot. So now we're predisposed to hip pain, low back pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that when the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy, you're gonna feel better, and you're not gonna have to spend so much time worrying and thinking about your pain.
See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
It's a celebration of cab this summer in Walla Walla. Take part in special tastings of rare library wines, enjoy intimate winemaker dinners, and gain access to premium cabs during the wine panel presentation and tasting. Tickets are on sale now at wallawallawine.com.
Stacy Lee, she's on your side. Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're already seeing plenty of sunshine in the Tri-Cities for this morning, and it's going to be a lot of that for the rest of today. Temperatures right now are mostly in the 50s. In fact, exclusively in the 50s within our viewing area. 50s, low 50s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We're in the low to mid 50s for the lower Columbia Basin and the middle to upper 50s for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. So a little bit later today, again, sunny and seasonal, as most of us will end up in the 80s. We should see 80s, low 80s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, low to mid 80s for the lower Columbia Basin, and then a mixture of 70s and 80s for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. And then for tonight, clouds will be building ahead of a very small chance for showers and thunderstorms into tomorrow. We'll touch on that more here in just a second. But yeah, skies will be partly to mostly cloudy, and overnight lows will be warmer compared to what we have for this morning, with 50s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, mid 50s to low 60s for the lower Columbia Basin, and it's going to be the same thing for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. So into tomorrow, again, we do have that small chance for showers or thunderstorms, mainly during the afternoon and evening, and mainly concentrated along the ridge lines of both the Cascades and the Blue Mountains. We'll probably have a pretty similar setup into Sunday and Monday, looking a little bit drier for Tuesday and Wednesday. And there is this very small chance of a shower for the 4th of July. but that is still, 6 to 7 days out, so we'll have time to tweak that particular aspect of the forecast. Now, there's another aspect that's a little bit more interesting. It does look like our temperatures are going to hold steady around 90 degrees in the Tri-Cities from Saturday through Tuesday, trending a little bit hotter for Wednesday and Thursday, which means that fire fuels are going to turn pretty dry. We have a first alert high impact fire day for Wednesday in the Blue Mountains, as the fire fuel energy will be up into the 75th percentile for fire season. But I am way more concerned about Thursday, the 4th of July, as we have another first alert high impact fire day, this time not just for the Blue Mountains, but also for Kittitas and Yakima counties, as we'll turn pretty hot at this point, and the fuels will be very dry. The fire fuel energy is going to be up into the 81st percentile for Kittitas and Yakima County, and will be up into the 83rd percentile for the Blue Mountains. And that is just a fancy way of saying that this is going to be a powder keg of an environment. This is unfortunately going to be on a day where a lot of people elect to shoot off fireworks. So my 2 cents, and I think it's worth more than that, but leave the fireworks to the professionals this go around. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Cascades. Small thunderstorm chances possible for Saturday and Sunday. We're looking drier by Tuesday and Wednesday. For the Kittitas Valley, a first alert high impact fire day for the 4th. Given the hot and dry conditions. And for the Yakima Valley, also that first alert high impact fire day for the 4th, given the dry fuels we were just talking about. For the lower Columbia Basin, we'll hold steady near 90 degrees from Saturday through Tuesday, and then a bit hotter after that. For the foothills of the Blues, we'll have small thunderstorm chances for Sunday and Monday, then we'll make a run for 90 degrees by Independence Day. And then for the Blue Mountains, also a first alert high impact fire day for Wednesday and Thursday due to the uptick in fire fuel energy.
Thank you, Josh. And it looks like it's going to be a day of weather contrasts in the U.S. as parts of the Midwest are still recovering from floods.
Now, they're getting more rain today. Meanwhile, locations in the Southwest and other areas are experiencing droughts. Several states have heat advisories in effect, and Colorado is dealing with the Oak Ridge fire. In related news, New Jersey is recovering from a deadly storm yesterday. Parts of Rhode Island and Massachusetts are reeling from a tornado that crossed the state border Wednesday night.
And we'll be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast.
But first, a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a new clue in the search for Taylor Casey. Her cell phone recovered in the ocean near the resort.
Based on the ping that came, we were able to find coordinates, of course, our specialist area, and so we were able to have our divers go and retrieve that phone.
And now her journal also in the hands of investigators.
I can say to you that we sat with the family and we presented the family with what we found inside the journal.
We have gone out to the locations. We've met with the police.
Her family pleading for answers.
Just caring and loving. We need Taylor back with us. We miss Taylor. We love Taylor, and Taylor needs to be back home with Taylor's family.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more on the mystery in paradise. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
When your child has moderate to severe eczema, it's okay for them to show off. Show off their clearer skin and noticeably less itch with Dupixent. Because children 6 months and older with eczema have plenty of reasons to show off their skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, they can stay ahead of their eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Now, the morning sprint.
Welcome back. Time right now is 6:52.
We're going to get to your first alert forecast in a moment, but we begin with a look at this morning's top stories. Starting off, 3 people are detained after a police situation in Richland.
This happened last night just after 5 law enforcement agencies responded to the area around the Orchard Hills apartments. That's off of Gage Boulevard. People who live in that area were told to shelter in place, and a police canine was brought to the scene.
That's when 2 people were detained, and authorities on scene confirmed they were looking for a third person. The third person was arrested just after 7 p.m. after officers chased the man down near New Haven Loop. What led up to the situation has not officially been released, but we'll bring you more information when it's available.
4 out of 5 Mapleton City Council members are leading a charge to recall Mayor Rachel Ruelas over allegations of gross incompetence. Council members Sophia Sotelo, Mary Alvarado, Vera Zavala, and Arturo de la Fuente all signed a petition to recall the mayor and submitted it to the auditor's office Wednesday. The petition claims Ruelas violated state laws regarding giving notice on budgets and adopting a budget. We learned from council members earlier this week that the city has been operating without a budget for all of 2024. Auditor Charles Ross says the petition won't be complete until they receive a copy of an oath that people signing the document must take, and he's been told to expect that copy at the end of the day.
The Grant County Health District says it's seeing an increase in chickenpox and whooping cough cases over the last several months. The GCHD says the chickenpox virus has been high in numbers across the county. Currently, the health district is monitoring an outbreak at a child care center in Warden. Officials say people should consider getting the chickenpox vaccine if they have not had the virus and are eligible. GCHD says it has 3 cases of whooping cough in the Moses Lake area, and the concern is exposure because it is a contagious infection. That illness is treated with antibiotics.
4th of July now less than a week away, and state law allows fireworks to be sold starting this morning. However, there are specific limits on when you can use the fireworks, so be sure to check local rules. And this is also the time to prepare your pets. All the loud noises tend to be stressful for our furry friends, which makes them more prone to run away. Pitbull Pen in Richland is holding a free microchip event this weekend where you can get your pet microchipped or update your information so that when a vet or animal control officer reads that microchip, they'll know who to call.
High school students are exploring STEM career options this week. That's with the Tri-Cities STEM Career Academy. Earlier this week, students built hydro turbines at the UA Local 598. Then visited the WSU Prosser Extension to build and fly drones. Thursday morning, students built hydrogen cars. Then students spent the afternoon building and racing solar cars. The students are learning about careers in agriculture, science, and energy. The STEM Academy is partnering up with the UA Local 598 along with a lot of other sponsors. Students got to tour the facility and hear from a number of apprentices to hear about what they do.
Brian Koberger, the suspect in the University of Idaho murders from November 2022, was back in court yesterday, and it's looking like he won't go on trial until next June. Koberger's attorneys are still trying to get the case moved out of Latah County, which is where the 4 college students were found dead in an off-campus home. Koberger, who was a criminal justice student at WSU at the time, is charged with 4 counts of murder.
Let's check back in with Josh for a final look at your first alert forecast this morning. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Jill. Well, it is feeling all right out there for this morning. Again, as I've been saying all morning, just kind of depends on how warm or cold-blooded you are. But 50s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We're now in the 50s and 60s for the lower Columbia Basin, and middle to upper 50s for the foothills of the Blues. Your coat cast for today, it's going to be light jacket stuff for this morning, but a little bit later today, more t-shirt weather, as we are expecting a seasonal day and a sunny day. But if you're going to be outside, especially working for an extended period of time, still pack the sunscreen and, of course, pack the water. We do have a very small chance for some showers and storms for tomorrow, mainly during the afternoon and evening for the Cascades, also for the Blue Mountains, and then a pretty similar setup for Sunday and Monday. Looking a little bit drier for Tuesday and Wednesday, and temperatures trending up slowly but surely. Could be into the mid-90s in the Tri-Cities by the 4th of July. And all of this hot and dry weather means that fire fuels are going to be very energized, which is why we're going with the first alert high impact fire day for Wednesday in the Blue Mountains. And then unfortunately for the 4th of July for Kittitas and Yakima County, also for the Blue Mountains. So if you're thinking about shooting off fireworks, maybe think twice.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you for waking up with us and watching Good Morning Northwest. GMA is next.
Your local news is back tonight at 5, and you can always find the latest updates on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Have a great weekend.